There we go. We got everything running and we're live. Hey everybody, this is the SatAM the Sonic SatAM Watch Party Season 2, episodes 9 through 11. Um we are on the cusp of the last
Oh no. He's been having internet problems, but we are on. Hopefully, the stream will last. At least, watch party wise. We're in, as we like to say, the home stretch. We're getting very close to the end. Gotta get to these 3 episodes and then the remaining, and then Sonic Saturday Morning 1990 will be all done, actually. I am sad to see it end, but it's been a fun ride for a while. But again, gotta get to this week's episodes. Hopefully, if the internet holds up on his end, and then we'll see you guys back next week for the conclusion. But I like to say for the oh boy, there he goes. With these episodes, they've been really much fun. They were exciting to watch. Got to learn more about the lore and the history. At least with this version of Sonic, I kind of like this version of Sonic a lot. I do have some issues here and there, but when the franchise is getting started and when you are coming off like the very first adventure game, it does at least make sense why things are the way they are. So that's great. So and you are introducing people to a new version of Sonic, whether you like the gamer who has played the games up to that point, like even now with all the different iteration of Sonic. Like different for me, I was a Sonic Underground kid, so I very much appreciated that version of Sonic. I've also been a Sonic X guy, so that's like the main one I watch. That like everybody watched, and even like when we still had Saturday morning cartoons before they got rid of the CW for the kids or the CW Vortex. Yeah, so this is great. So hello, friends. Hello, welcome to Sonic Saturday morning watch party. We do have a watch link if people want to join the watch party there. Go ahead and join us if you would like to. If not, that's fine. Anime Night, the main host, he's having a little bit of internet problems right now, so hopefully he can get things figured out. If not, we might have to postpone this again. It's happened before, when Wi-Fi is the internet's not that great because we missed Nicecast yesterday, which is completely fine. We'll just save the news we had for that week and then tell them next week, which is completely fine. So hopefully he can figure things out. So if not, crossing your fingers, I'll keep talking for a bit. So yeah, if you want to know how I got into Sonic, it was definitely the animation. It was definitely Sonic Underground. Always watching that as a kid was fun, and even when you were back at the clinic and during the youth section, when you're like just waiting for things, your appointment to start, they always had what channel was it? What was it? The Fox Network or was it like ABC or something like that? They were always showing the Sonic stuff. Well, I'm like, this is really cool, and this is really fun. I think my first Sonic game was Heroes at that time period. So yes, it would be through all the reruns before we got Sonic X. So yeah, that was like my introduction to Sonic. Very cool time to be alive for that as a fan. I'm definitely gonna play the new racing game that's coming out, so that'll be fun. That'll be cool, and to get some competition going, which is always appreciated. It's always needed. So we'll see how things go with that from that standpoint. So very much excited for that. See how things will handle, how things will translate from going from one racing to the other. So that will be pretty cool. Actually, I'll be pretty excited for all that. I think one of my main issues with Sonic is just always telling there's some good stories with Sonic here and there. Like you tell people like what are some of the best Sonic stories. So obviously, Adventure One, Adventure Two. Always love Sonic Unleashed, Shadow the Hedgehog, even with its if you just focus on the main stuff and not doing like all the different like I would like to say like all you don't have to get all like 300 different endings. If you focus on the endings that you want to get to unlock the true ending, I think that was such a great story for Shadow the Hedgehog. Let's see what else is there. I do like Sonic Colors a lot. I like that storyline. That was pretty great. I am the book fan. I absolutely love the book duology. Secret Rings was great. Well, Sonic and Black Knight was great. I would like to say that is the Sonic game through and through. The Four Kids Swan song they went on a high note with. And then we got that more mixed era of Sonic. So, I mean, Frontiers was a good game. It just took a while to get going for me. And then I'm like, all right, I'll accept this for what it is. Pretty fun. So, hopefully the next mainline title's good. And if not, I'm just going to be like, what are we doing? Like, what are we doing? We have the formula, and then you lost it.
Oh, I agree. I wholeheartedly agree. And I'm back. Sorry about that, guys. Alrighty.
He spoke too soon. Knock on wood. So, who knows? We might have to delay this. Well, I can always continue watching, but I just got to make sure that I keep you guys informed. Oh, there he is. Back.
Yes. Alrighty. Let's start the show.
You clicked on the wrong episode. There you go. There you go. Hold on, right there, right there. Good. That is a catchy thing. I lie. They have some catchy improvement. Yes, that's a one. The Odd Couple. Also, The Odd Couple. Great movie, by the way. People to watch it. Yep, that's the episode. Oh, he can't catch a break. Well, this will be the third time tonight. So we are experiencing technical difficulty, folks. So please hang in there with us. Again, like I said, Sonic Frontiers, I think they had the right idea they were going for with the story wise. And like I said, if this was at least seen the last time, at least for now, with this team of Knuckles, Sonic, Amy, and Tails, I think that would be fine if we take a little break with these characters because I would love to see what Team Chaotic is doing right now. I'd love to see what Team Dark is doing right now. Yes, people have said we just had Sonic X Generations. I would like to say I've yet to play that. I've seen the wonderful response it has gotten from the fan base, and I think that's fantastic that what's been doing. Again, I would love to see a true standalone Shadow game. People are going to say, well, we got the Sonic X Shadow. That's one thing, but actual full blown standalone story where he's the main protagonist again and he's got to stop somebody. Granted, again, people are going to say, but X Shadow Generations right there. Like, that's one thing. That's one thing. I would like to see what he's truly doing after the events of Frontiers or after the events of Generate X Shadow Generation. So that's what I'm really getting. It's the real meat and bones that I want. Again, I love to see TK Chaotic, what the heck they're doing after all this time. Again, part team maybe. I would love to see Big. Well, technically speaking, we did get Big the Cat again, but I want to see cream and cheese. I want to see the chows. I want to see what the chows are doing, so and stuff like that. But again, I would love to see other HD ports again, like the storybook games, which need to be experienced at least once in your life, because those are some damn good games. Secret Rings was awesome. Black Knight was even better. Again, the Four Kids swan song for them. It was the last time we got to hear their voices until we got the new cast. So I would love to play Black Knight all over again if I want to. Heck, if I still have my Wii, I would have found a copy right now of Black Knight and play it for everybody. So hang in there while Anime and I get things sorted out so we can get things going. And if we can't, we're just gonna have to postpone this watch party and try again next time, or at least get through one episode and then say, well, go from there. I'll let him decide. But I don't want to make everybody Debbie Downers right now. When you're having Wi-Fi problems, it is one of the worst things to happen. It's not a really good feeling in the world, and I agree with it with all that. And I agree with everybody on that. It is not the best to have in the world. If you guys again, like I keep saying, like what we have been stating like constantly, countless times, that if you guys do have requests for us, bring in suggestions. If we can find copies that are at a decent price, reasonable, we'll go for it. Oh, yeah, I see the channel. There he is.
Hey, I'm
Once
back.
again,
Sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. This has been crazy. I just overheard my roommate talking about it too. She's like, "Man, this router really hates us." So she too is understanding of all of this.
I think it's almost time for a new router. Like those things that
Probably.
do get probably have to go in tomorrow. Just like somebody just go in tomorrow, but like we need a new router. I mean, yeah, as I was saying, that while we're dealing with the technical difficulties, if you do suggest things that's like they either have it or I do not have. Oh, never mind.
Wow. He's finally lost it.
He's lost it. He's lost it. He went insane, Sonic.
I like the Igor Bride of Frankenstein reference.
Oh yeah, definitely. I do too. Well, we got Brad Frankenstein. Now we're doing Snow White and Seven Dwarfs.
Hey, what's up, Sinner Outlaw? Hope you're doing good. How did this get passed?
Oh, this is not our night tonight, folks. In the meantime, some of the series that we were hoping to watch, at least, but sadly, uh, well, we can, unless someone can find the DVDs for us. But mostly, if they are going to be available, they're going to be in limited supply, limited stock. It's going to be very much difficult to find the stuff because I think it's something that Disney does not want people to. Well, they're going to have it anyway, but apparently, since they still hold the property, regardless, they even though the creators they try to sue but could not get it back. Oh wow, really? Doesn't look that. Oh, that's Alien. Duh. God, reboot is not that great. But his witch, yeah, Witch, which is basically just a girl's name. But that's hard to find. Are you still? Are we gonna hold? Because when trying to find stuff like that, I've been looking over on eBay and Amazon. I can't find crap unless you're paying top dollar for stuff that may not be there.
Oh, I agree. I wholeheartedly agree. Oh, I paused at a good moment. I
Okay,
paused
good.
it. Alrighty, let's try this again.
Hopefully this will get the positive.
Give it them that there it goes.
Schwarzenegger?
That's a good Arnold impression.
Come on.
I think we got a preview of the Google Maps lady.
I think so too. Smart, smart, very smart. Well done, writers. Well done.
Patience is a virtue.
But Antoine, aren't these your people? Remember, folks, you can be a coward, but still try to be a hero. He is trying to be a hero. So smart, smart. Good job.
He reminds me of Benny from The Mummy.
Oh yes, oh yes. He's just so happy to have a torch.
I heard that.
Like, where did they go? Don't go left. They're hiding there. Yeah, boy, you're smart. My God. Now, how did that get past? Ah, see, here we go. More cast.
This
Good.
That is good animation right there. I like that.
That was awesome. Yeah, son notes. What? What?
Uh,
Sonic, what are you doing? What are you doing, Sonic?
Sonic,
Sonic, don't do it.
don't do it.
Don't sit there. Okay, good. Just bros being bros. Just 5 feet apart.
Beg pardon.
I guess you got those sometime later, or they were upgraded. What? Oh shit! What does he do that all the time? He said, "Oh, the you should
Uh-oh, uh-oh.
oh no, fortunate.
He's pushing it. He's
No, 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 no. Leave it to Sonic. Hmm. Oh, I see it.
Damn that.
Besides the filler, we had like two really good episodes actually.
I'm muted too. We had some really, really fun episodes, aside from the one filler, but that's a-okay because at least it was humorous enough and we liked it.
I like people read like you said, which I was partially watching it a little bit. I was like, wait a second. Like you said, how did they get this past the ratings board? Folks, we will say this. Different times, different places. You're looking at inanimate objects, robots, animals. Most people will not make that connection, especially little children at the time period. But nowadays, this is like a big, huge. Really? Really? We have time for this? Really? Let's see here. Just remember, like, even Rocco's Modern Life, there were hints and stuff of one of the best Nickelodeon shows out there, Fight Me People,
Yeah, fight us,
along with
Laser.
Invader
Fight,
Zim,
fight us.
where
We
there
will
were
gladly
a
debate
bunch of
you.
innuendos or subtlety, like the clown episode, coming out of the closet. I'm like, yep. The Ralph was always the rebellious son, so even during when the Netflix special, I'm like, you know what, that does fit the character, and it's not unusual for Rocco's Modern Life for a character to go through that type of change. I'm like, you know what, it's there. Or the air quote band episode, even though it's no longer banned, where Rocco was with the mom all that entire episode. Which again, it's like, how did they let get this pass? Like you remember that episode, right?
Yeah,
I'm
and
like, what is this? I think Camp Lazlo had a couple of them with
it
Lumpus
look.
at the end with the whole nudist thing. I'm like, again, how do you let this get past? I mean, Avatar probably had a few of them too, which we didn't even know. But so it's different time how the jokes are implied. Obviously, nowadays this would be at a PG rating, or that one episode would be like, nope, cut it, don't do it, or imply something else. So it's definitely, like, again, eyebrows raising. But are we gonna question it? Yes, but it's like you
It
gotta
was
laugh at
hilarious.
people. You gotta
It,
laugh. I think that's the intention that some people are going for. We're getting trying to get a laugh, but some stuff are people gonna say, but that Rock of Mountain Life episode is a banned. It's not banned nowadays because you probably can find it on Paramount Plus. So that's the reason why. But back in the day, they probably show it once and like, let's not air it again unless we're really lazy.
yes, agreed. I did like let's talk about the filler episode real quick. We'll get that out in the open.
One thing
Uh,
I like about this, they do combine the stories much better than the last two. This is mostly, once again, another Antoine centric episode, but of the three that he has, this is the more funny one. Now, why is that? It's a simple mistake that he made, unfortunately, that happens, and now he's got to bunk with Sonic for a while. But Sonic's antics drive this man crazy. It's that one roommate you don't want to have. That one person you say, God, please no. I spent all day with work with you, or I have to deal you with this. I don't want to deal with you in my own personal space where I should feel free and safe. I gotta bunk with you. I love it. I love it.
Especially he just at the animation and everything, the way he loses it, it's
I think they
this is
were having
why
fun with it. They were having fun
they
with this
you could
episode.
tell because here's the thing. We all love we all love the CGI stuff and everything from time to time when it has its moments, but you'll never capture the
The
essence, the charm of 2D animation with those reactions. Because you feel it, like you are laughing your ass off when Antoine is going nuts. He snapped, and you could see the expressions and everything. And Antoine, he has come a very long way. He has his moments, but he does show where the matter comes in. However, this filler episode, I love the Bride of Frankenstein reference. I love that callback to those classic movies of Hollywood's golden age. When monsters was running around and everything, we had the mad scientist, we had Antoine as Igor, we had, of course, Bride of Frankenstein, and it just ties in so well, and I loved it. I like it when there's, like, real world references and pop culture references in our entertainment when it's done when it's done right. And this is a pure example of that because it was so much fun to watch. And it's like, why can't we do more of this? That's what's lacking in some of these cartoons nowadays. Is the jab at pop culture or the reference to it. They just don't know when to just let loose, let the characters have a bit of fun, and this to me was actually a very fun, filler episode.
I
Probably the best one out of the ones we've had.
I think this one does beat the whole adventure style they went through in season one, where even was laughing at the stupid chair, like a literal chair. You have to sit in a little. I think this one they just were allowed to have fun with it. Like you said, there's the pop culture reference in there, but it wasn't in your face entirely. They knew that it's like, well, we could do something fun with this. You know, Sonic drives him mad, crazy, insane. Where's Antoine gonna go? We have this walrus who makes stuff. Why doesn't he go into the castle and find this thing? Which also brings me the question, why does he have this? Look at him,
Is
he's
there
laughing. Like,
is
why
there a
does he have
basement?
this? Why
Is there a
does he feel
basement?
this?
Is there a basement in his house? Because we do see his house and everything, and it's a marvelous wonder too. And it's like, oh, we got a glimpse of what's in Rotor's house and everything. But the fact he has that in there, and I'm like, why aren't you
Why?
doing this more often?
Or to me, was Sally wanted to say, so you have time for this and not training. Like I want to be Paddington right now, going. We're going like, what's going on here? Did I leave the machine on? Just going, just staring at him like. But I think that's part of the fun because when it's Antoine getting into these antics and then going away from Sonic because he snapped, now you have someone worse than Sonic by accident. I think I would stay with Sonic versus this thing.
Exactly. I do love how they like really drove home like it's alive. They drove that home, and I thought that was a perfect crescendo to to that pop culture reference, and it just went completely off and everything. And watching her chase Antoine around and breaking down his door not once, not twice, but at least probably 6 times by my count. It's just like, "Oh, no." And then when they finally put when they get the chest plate in finally, it does not make things better. In fact, it makes it worse. And
That's
and
what I
unfor
like too.
and unfortunately for Antoine, it's the exact opposite of better. She goes back to him immediately, and it's also funny how Sonic, tricks her, and she runs into Antoine again. It's just so perfect.
It's
Uh
a good still episode. It combines two things together, but the two main ones,
oh,
like
yes, let's get to the main ones. Let's get to the wolf one because
so the
that
Wolf
one
one, I felt like this was interesting because you're introduced to more freedom fighters, but apparently they were slightly erased from history. I'm like, is that on purpose, or is that to kind of keep them hidden for a while so Eggman isn't kind of going after everybody? It could be both, but the reason why I like this a lot, it builds more interesting stuff. The Doomsday Project is in motion. You probably have to find a lot of people to stop this from happening. But what's really cool about it is that you kind of get into more of that Sonic and Sally relationship that they're building through this. She wants him to slow down, be a team player, not be Mr. Gun Ho at all the time. Snivel is once again a great side antagonist. Like seriously, he almost wins it again, and yet fumbles.
he
Like God,
and that's the beauty of it. They're giving him more. He really took advantage of the 2 episodes he took advantage in. That was the 2nd episode where he took charge. He did phenomenally this one. He just let him go, let him do his thing. And I feel like both episodes really captivate him into one of the coolest side antagonists out there. Pre Metal Sonic, pre Shadow, um pre everything actually at this time for the time. For the time.
like even Sage. We'll see how Sage does in the next game with Eggman's because I'm like, ooh, how are they gonna implement Sage now?
But
She's
with
an
the
AI.
wolves But to answer your question though, it's interesting how the wolves are introduced and everything because we had no idea about these people because we don't know what else is on that list. We
Like
don't.
even getting to them, I felt like the way they set up this year, like the day of the invention, I'm like, this is clever actually. To even get to where Snively even was, he set up like this storm cloud and everything. Even Sonic realized, oh, we're in trouble if we go this way. And I'm like, you know what? This is smart. You stop the Freedom Pals, you even stop the wolves from even trying to get to you. I'm like, this is smart. This is how you create someone's like, I'm planning ahead. But is it enough? Not quite, because they even find a way to defeat him in the end.
And also I don't know about you, Joker, but I got Mummy vibes, like the Brendan Fraser film. I got vibes because Antoine gave me the Benny vibes from the Mummy. He gave me Benny vibes like crazy throughout like the whole thing. When they're in the cave and everything, it's like, oh, it's the curse and everything.
He
But
does give up a little Benny vibes, so I'm like, you're not wrong. He's got a little bit of a cowardness to him. But just like with Benny and any good coward, like even like Zenitsu from Demon Slayer, people will tell you across entertainment, even if you're the coward, they can be a hero. They can be brave. They just gotta push through it. Yes, but he said he's doing it for the Princess Sally. But that is the main motivator for him. If something were to happen to Sally, he would not let it down at all. We
no.
see them be jealous of Sonic and be like, you know what? I'm gonna capture Eggman. I'm gonna do the one thing you can't do. We see them before, and here he is doing it again. It's these small things you gotta appreciate the man.
And it also and also like figuring out the secret entrance to the tunnel. um Cowardly people are very smart when you're not looking. They are very smart from time to time and get lucky. And to me, I feel like that was subtle. Like he just did it with when the other two, when Sonic and Sally were talking. It's like boom, and he's like, oh, well, there's a door right there. It was a door this entire time. But I like how the buildup though, like the buildup to these wolves. I love like the subtleties of it, like them watching like the Jawas from Star Wars when R2D2 goes deeper into the canyon, you see the Jawas and everything. We don't know that they're Jawas until they're mentioned much later. The subtlety in that is really amazing. And seeing that the test drone pop out of the ground like a UFO and everything. I thought that was clever. I'm like, okay,
We're in
we
a good
see it.
episode.
We're
This is
very good at
interesting.
it. Start out strong because it's like, okay, there's a new threat. We never seen this before. You have our attention. We like this. Keep it going. And and throughout that thing, give a medal to that test spot right there. Give a medal to that thing. That thing took on like bombs, being buried, Sonic's whirlwind tornado attack. It
Hmm.
took on everything, and it still came back, and I'm like, "This is
The
perfect."
Terminator.
It builds up it doesn't diminish it at all. It doesn't. It adds more to it, like, "Okay, we're really up against something we don't know a way to do. Because remember, they didn't have the weakness yet because they were still trying everything. And when Sonic and Sally got captured and beat the crap out of Smidley, um, and then they
Snipe.
finally get the info and go back to that thundercloud and destroy the test spot, and it works.
It's
I
called the
thought,
Chekhov. It is called Chekhov's gun. Like that cloud was there for a reason. I'm like smart. Even how Sonic said, "Don't go through that." Like, am I kidding? I'm like, this is gonna come back later in the episode, and there it is coming back later, folks. This small things like that are set up and payoff. Like for example, for losing the necklace when she was for when we saw all the captured Earthbenders. Who finds it? Zuko. What do we get in the finale? Zuko kind of showing how he's been tracking them. Or like, I have your necklace. So I'm like, oh, you get some really nice payoff because when Korra sees it, oh, she's mad. She's furious. Even like for me, when I was watching Gentry versus the Underworld, there are actually some great payoffs later. Like small things are set up for bigger impacts in like maybe an episode later or when you get to some of the more climactic stuff. I'm like, this is really good. Like not just a bit about like Gentry not knowing exactly how things happen or like why she has her powers, but when you find out, I'm not going to say anything to avoid spoilers. You just go, whoa, I just see a different point of view from somebody else. Or again, like our favorite show, The Dragon Prince, when they set up stuff nicely, you get payoff. Or like, who the hell is Arvos? Or Ervos? So I'm like, this is so cool. But then you
Exactly.
see just how tall he is. When they show that, I was like, oh my, he's that. I was like, I'm like, this is not a dragon size. This is,
No,
yeah.
this is Galactus size.
I was like, how are you guys gonna? But that was amazing how they did it because he was always contained in that room, and when he's finally out, because I'm like, all right, this is it, the big payoff. I'm like, where is he? Where is he? I'm like, oh, oh, they're doomed. I just kept saying they're doomed. They're doomed. They're doomed. They're not gonna win this. But that was a great payoff. Or I think even one of my favorite payoffs of one of my favorite shows. What was it? I believe it was Danny Phantom and how he actually defeated. What was it? Oh yes, it was when he was in the ghost dimension and realizing that like he's getting injured and everything. Yet when his friends go into the ghost dimension try to rescue him, they are unharmed. And he's like, "Wait, how did you do this?" They remember saying that it's the reverse effect now. When ghosts come into our dimension, they cannot get hurt or injured in any meaningful ways conventionally, besides from you when you're in your ghost form. But when we're in the ghost dimension in human form, we can't get injured.
That was it was beautifully done. It was beautifully written because you don't think about that until much later, and it's like, you know what? That actually makes sense. And they
That
want
makes sense.
and you see why the ghost zone is so dangerous. Not just to the ghosts, but to the humans as well. Look what happened to Danny as you mentioned, Danny getting hurt in his ghost form. Look what's happening there. Meanwhile, nothing happens to Sam or
Is
Tucker
Yeah, it
or
was
or
Tucker. Yeah, it was Tucker.
or Tucker. Nothing happens to them. You take that and then you flip it when the ghosts come out, they could take on anything, even a rocket to the face.
I remember that. That was so cool as a kid.
And nothing and they just keep coming until Danny gets in Ghost Swarm and then fights Ghost with Ghost. It makes perfect sense. It's a two-way conundrum for both humans and ghosts. It's that very fine line between, oh man, this is really dangerous for both sides. But it's told beautifully where it amplifies that without explaining it. It amplifies it. Remember the
One of my personal favorite setup
remember
is
the
when they're doing the video game. If you remember them playing the game,
oh,
they get
oh, I
each other.
remember that. Oh, the reveal was perfect.
The
Sam,
in this wonderful
oh,
reveal, both Danny and Tucker, they keep playing this game all the time, and yet they can't beat this one person they keep on running into all the time. They defeat a ghost in the episode, and it's like, wait, we defeat the ghost this way. Let's try it the other way, like we did in reality. Now in a game format, they completely failed. What's going on here? But now this ghost has somehow entered the game, and it's like, oh boy, we need to stop this guy. Sam and Tucker go in to the first reveal. Sam was the player they couldn't defeat. They're like, you, you. It was
It
brilliant.
was
But
I love their reactions because it was so perfect, and it made me love Sam even more than ever. And I'm like, you know what,
my second
waifu of Danny Phantom,
Nickelodeon.
she and Nickelodeon waifu right there, and I mean that with pure reverence and the class. Give her
That
flowers,
was
God damn it.
brilliant. But the second reveal is, wait a second, the ghost is in the game. Can't Danny do that? Goes ghost form, goes into the game. He's like, I'm my own secret cheat code. I'm like, but the third and final reveal, when they're thinking that they're about to win the game, nope, they all die. Turns out their teacher was a gamer. I'm like,
Oh no! I fell out of my chair on that one because that was like the greatest. Oh my
reveal.
god! And you know what? You know what? As grumpy and as a big of a jerk he is, it's nice to see that side of him every now and then because I feel like that's a good like human antagonist done right, and you cheer for that. And it's like, you know what? I could get used to this. I like it because at first you hate him, but then when you realize you see him like this, it's like I can't even hate you anymore. I like you. What is this? But
So those are some great payoffs when they are done correctly. It could be for something that's comedic or something serious. It's nice to see stuff that you can connect it to, like this is how they're going to defeat it. And again, like Snively is so close. He's gonna do it. He's gonna win Eggman's respect. Still can't. And when Eggman is furious, again, this goes back to you miss the hand drawn stuff. It's not just with a good voice, but when stuff is hand drawn like this, the old school way, you just go, wow, this is really good. And, oof,
oh
and you
yeah,
can
the
feel the pain and rage. It's like, how dare you? It's like, oh god, oh god.
yeah,
I
I could
be
watch
in
that.
that
I could
moment.
watch that for hours and still get a laugh out of it. Plus, I like the effect of him like being a hologram and everything. You see his full body, but then it zooms up. It zooms up to his head and everything, and I love that animation trick. I love that one. It's one of my favorites as far as like 2D goes because it's done so well, and it's like I can't imagine how hard it is to do all that, like to just to make that work, like storyboard wise. I could see like how difficult it is to like warp it from the full body view to just the head, like just his head in that hologram. Hey, Fire Devil, what's up? Um, but also the wolves. If you want to talk about payoffs, since we're talking about payoffs, the build up to the wolves, like the full wolves, like when we really see them, it was done beautifully because they had that whole advantage to them. They had the terrain down and everything, and Sonic, Sally, Antoine were really outclassed. You could see it on them. And then finally when it's revealed that they're on their side and you hear their story, it's like this is good. I like this. New characters and also like you learn the history of them too, all in one cohesive scene. It's done wonderfully and it adds more lore to it. It adds lore. and now we have like a bigger picture of everything, like all coming together. If you really look at it, I wish I had a map of this because as we're winding down to the last two episodes, um, we have a bigger picture of
The different factions where they're
yeah,
located. We have people that are underneath. I'm gonna keep calling it the Eggman Empire. We have people, the wolves in this desert terrain. We got the wizard and the king in the void still trapped. We got the people in Nodville, and then the other group with our a buffalo friend. That's a lot of factions ready to go when the time is right, hopefully. So that's a lot of great people. It's like these are our allies. We're ready to go when the
and
time is right.
and
But
it
time is running out because in our final episode for tonight, oh boy, they are
oh,
truly in a race against clock. Now I want to say this is probably one of the better original ones in a way, at least for the time being, and for a Sonic show. Now why is that? We have pacing, good screenplay, we have the editing's down, and most importantly, it's not only advanced the story, but it finally gave Tails why he's about to become Miles Tails. Throughout the entire series, we've seen Tails be afraid, a coward. He's putting the puzzle together. When fake Sally robot came along, he's like, this isn't Sally. This isn't Sally. He put the pieces together. We know about the Doomsday plan that is happening, that's coming. Eggman found one of the parts, so it's like, uh-oh, that's not good. But Tails is truly a good supporting cast member. He is the first one to alert the Sonic that, look out, you're about to be captured. Like, oh, cool, cool. But when he does get captured, it can motivate Sonic to, I gotta rescue my buddy. But even before that, he took down the spy plane. He took it down. It's like, I got it, Sonic. Hey, character growth, development. And even Sonic said, hey, next time, tell me where you're going to do this. And so he's like, okay. And then Sonic ignores his own rules. And who saves you? Once again, Tails does. Sonic returns the favor. Snively once again gets outmatched by a little hedgehog. A little hedgehog. And yet it is Tails figures out that, like, oh, I got the grid. I'm like, hey, he's getting smart. He is learning. You don't have to be the strongest or the fastest. You just got to be smarter than most people. I'm like, yeah, this is great. And why
it
is it great? It's not Sonic who comes up with the plan to trick Eggman and everything. It's Tails. Even Tails said, the ally, our other friend said that it still needs to dry. I'm like, wait a second. I'm like, I figured it out right away what this plan is. His plan was brilliant to trick Eggman into, if we get him to follow you and me around with the fake, you know, Doomsday key, that was brilliant. That was brilliant. It's
mhm.
effective. It made Eggman upset to call the retreat to find the real one. Holy crap, this is Tails that I remember from the games. From the games. Brilliant. And his
Exactly.
matches are really good. I'm like, why doesn't he do more? Why doesn't he do more? But also now I'm still looking back at that wonderful having three tales of him, Colleen, and Katie Higgs all together. I'm like, what? This guy's good. He's earned his place from the Sonic fan. Give him more love. Tell him what you love. I'm gonna tell him if I meet him, I love your episode and episode season 211 of Sonic Saturday Morning, because that was a brilliant episode for Tails. When I
Oh,
meet him, that was a great episode.
it is because and also we learn more because about all of this, like the coming of age thing. the coming of age, like all the hidden secrets. It's like, oh, why won't you tell me? And it's done beautifully because remember, Sally is still a princess, but she does not know that. She may be smart in everything, but she does not know anything beyond the scope of that. And it's explained to her. It's like your father also made it to put in programs for Nicole not to know, like, to lock out certain things. It's timed. It's timed lock by her, and it goes by her age, which is very, very interesting. And and it's not like a throwaway thing. It actually had meaning to it.
And it does happen in reality. Sadly, when you do want to grow up and be an adult, it's like growing up isn't easy as they make it in our favorite entertainment. It's a lot of struggles. Look at us or everybody in the audience. We all know that. It's a lot of hardship. Sometimes they're trying to protect you from a couple things, or if not more. But even for our whole underground crew and everything, even they know our freedom fighter pals. They know exactly that. Like, I guess there's some things that are going to be kept a secret. But I love the fact that it is Sonic that kind of gets gets the answers a little bit what we're looking for. Even he says that, but if she dies, she can't get, she won't know. And she's like, oh my, does not compute. I'm like, all right, here you go. I think even going back, even Sonic fixed her. I'm like, I appreciate that little detail because it's a no to Sally, but all right, Sonic, you convinced me. I'll do it. And I like the fact when you learn stuff, it's like, this is good, but now there's a real threat that's coming. Like I said, this is now a race. Whoever gets these first is going to win the story. It's already destroyed with Eggman, but just imagine him activating the Doomsday device full power. It's like, oh, good lord.
And I like how how it showed when Sonic gets through with the answer and everything. We hear her father explaining like these stones because when they said powerful stones, my mind went immediately to the Chaos Emeralds because we grew, of course, we grew up on those. We grew up on the Chaos Emeralds, but that was not the case. Instead, they were other mystical items there, and in my mind, I'm like, "Where is this in the modern Sonic era? Where is this? Because you can only do so much. And here's the thing: we love the Chaos Emeralds, we do.
We do.
We love them. We love the pieces and everything. Don't get us wrong, Sega. It's a brilliant thing. It's a brilliant thing in everything. But it does not hurt to try and experiment with different things, and this is what Sonic SatAM did. They experimented a little bit with, like, what would be the time stones and then those 2 power stones. It's okay to experiment with different things. You would still get the same result because they are equally powerful and everything within their own realm of reality. It does not hurt to try something different every now and then. And I'm starting, well, actually, I take that one thing back. I am starting to notice it a bit more in the modern Sonic games
Definitely with the Unleashed games, you definitely saw like the more Werehog stage. We got to see uniqueness with Chip and Dark Gaia. I felt like these were really great additions, especially Werehog Sonic. Bring back Werehog Sonic, please.
yeah,
I love the
bring that
combat.
because that was
It
actually
was
pretty.
fun.
That was actually the fun part of Sonic Unleashed. That was the fun part. So anyway, back to what I was
Definitely see
saying.
the rings. It definitely cast symbols with the rings, but we were like more Arabian Nights. So this was really cool to see that type of setting or the different pages from the books. Even though you would be Arabia, then you'd be the Dino Jungle, but then you get some really cool stuff like being like in the pirate theme or the mansion or when you went to like stuff that this was pretty cool in a storybook format, but also it's like this is cool to see Sonic in a different light. Or
Mm-hmm.
even like I keep saying, the Swan song is Black Knight. Like him being in a knight and everything, this is kind of cool with the mechanics. A cool take on Arthurian legend with the Sonic characters that are handled better, respected, mature, and the whole thing, even at the end of you realizing that this King Arthur is a fake created by Merlin, and Merlin's daughter, is the actual true antagonist, was brilliant. And even how she said that my father illusion was never going to last forever, so she wanted to create the world in her own way. I'm like, this is how you do a character that starts one way, does the 180 twist, but again, you cannot defeat the villain in the way you think it is. Sonic does defeat her, but in the end, he says, every story comes to an end. That's why we gotta live in the here and the now. Like, we can't hold on to the past. At least that's what I think. I mean, you can look up the clip on YouTube, and it's a brilliant speech. It's it's wonderfully written, reflects the journey you go through, and it's like I said, it's the swan song because it's the last time we got to see a game by Team Sonic USA. It's the last time with the four kids cast, especially with Jason Griffith in the role. And it's the last time Crush 40 was together writing songs for both the beginning and ending for our Sonic games. That's why the song Live and Learn hits so powerful at the end. You go, what?
And
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 you think
and
that's it. That was it.
and we hear it in like when you and I went to go see respectively the Sonic 3 movie, we hear that song again. It's like, yes, they actually brought it back. They brought it back.
Live and Learn, Live Life is a great song at the end of Black Knight. It's like, it did start with Open Your Heart. The peak is Live and Learn, but then, of course, Live Life is there saying goodbye and farewell. Hello, for one last time, and goodbye. So that's a great way to introduce stuff like this. I mean, this episode was wonderful. It was great. Like, that's how you do stuff to be unique. I'm like, why can't we get this back again? And again, the stuff with Sage and Frontiers, I'm like, this is cool. This is interesting. Hopefully, we see more Sage because the true ending, she is alive. Of course, with Eggman. So I'm like, I'm curious to see where they go with it. Now, wouldn't mind having her back as a optional boss or whatever they're gonna do with Sonic Racing. So this would be great. But
Oh, that one's gonna be interesting. But
that'll
with
be
with with
interesting.
this but with this
With all that being
episode
said,
though, with this
this is a
episode
great
though,
episode for Tails for coming out of his shell and him finally being a freedom fighter. I'm like, yes, little dude got his just dues.
exactly, and it solidified him becoming the Tails that we all know and adore from time to time. And it shows like give him a moment, he is very smart. Kind of like with Smith. He's like Smidley, but better in a way. Uh-oh. I pissed off
What's up?
Joker.
Well,
um,
what's up?
but this episode though was really well done, and it adds more to like because we see now this is subtlety right here. We see what the doomsday device looks like. They mention it. There's the visual, and it's like, uh-oh. It
But they
looks like
didn't turn it on yet. He's waiting, very much waiting.
exactly. And it's like, wait a minute, because we've seen the roboticizer before. We've seen that.
We've
And
seen so many different things from Eggman throughout this entire show. When he does have the spotlight, he has the city, he has the generators, he has the roboticizers, and so much more that he could use. But I think what they did perfectly is all that stuff, that's the kiddie stuff. You deal with that. I'm gonna build the real machine in the background.
he mentions it too, because remember, he had this planned from the very beginning after the coup, when what we saw in Back to the Past. Remember, he was testing out the void. Now we
Hmm.
know, and now it's storytelling even further of how far ahead Eggman is in terms of planning and everything. That doomsday device is the end game for Robotnik. It's Robotnik's end game. Everything he worked for, everything he did, like getting rid of the king, turning everything into robotic world. And but
I
there,
wonder why he wants the Power Ring if he can't find these stones. The Power Ring is probably
oh,
the
I didn't
next
even think of
best
that.
thing.
I did not think
I
of
thought
that.
about that right away when I saw that thing. I'm like, no wonder why he wants the Power Ring. It isn't just
It
returning to
it, it
Sonic.
didn't even dawn on me until you mentioned it. I'm like, wait a minute, that explains it. Because if he didn't get the stone, it's like, what can I get? Ah, the power ring. So now that makes it even worse because remember, it adds to it. Now that Sonic has the other um the
Half.
other the other half of the stone, they're at a stalemate right now. On paper, they're in stalemate. But you mentioned the power ring, and that in lies the problem. There are deeper things when you really look, and you just did that, Joker.
Hmm.
If Dr. Robotnik got a hold of the power ring,
Like you said, he wants to copy it.
and he wants to copy it too, yes. However, a copy cannot
Beat the
replicate
real
the
thing.
exactly because it may do it will do the damage, but not at the level the original ring would do. He would see it happening. He'd be like, "Yes, Smidley, yes, yes, yes."
But doctor, our calculations are off. You see, you just made a copy, but not the real thing. So we need the real Power Ring, sir. And you're
I always
just
thought,
telling us now. Sir, I've always been telling you you need the real Power Ring. Unless we trade for it. I mean,
but
the threat's real, so
the
I'm
threat is
shocked.
very real because now that they're but to everybody, this is a standoff. It is a big standoff because
And
now
there's
they
only
have
2 episodes left. And
and it
darn
could
tune, these are gonna be the big obviously the penultimate, and then the finale. So this will be interesting. How is this machine even going to be activated in the first place, and how are we going to see everybody just cram into the Eggman Empire? Be like, this is our chance and only shot to stop Eggman.
because remember everything is riding on those 2 episodes. And we only have 2 episodes left, ladies and gentlemen. This just got very dangerous very fast. Because you don't see it until and that's why the season 2, I feel like this one really just let the dam break and advance the story completely. Now we're down to the final 2, the spy one, and then the grand finale, the Doomsday Project. I am very excited to see how this is gonna go. I'm wondering what they're gonna do next because a lot is riding on this move. Because it's like the Clone Wars, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Battle of Utapau. This is the battle right here. And remember who goes there. There are two important people who went there on Utapau to decide the fate of that war. Here, it's very different and very, very dangerous. I'm pretty excited to see how they take advantage of this victory and see what they do next in the next episode. And then the grand finale, the Doomsday Project. Who are we going to see? Because remember, at the end of the Wolf episode, the other freedom fighters want to meet, but we don't know what they look like or who they are. So, my hope is this next episode, we at least see one of them. At least see one more faction before the big finale. That's my one hope for the next episode. But I'll be happy either way because it's going to be a fight to the end. But this series has been very, very amazing. It's a roller coaster ride of antics, friendship, brotherhood, and good versus evil, and just finding their way. All of our wonderful freedom fighters have found their way. Sonic and with the Tails episode, we see Tails ascend to who he really is now. He has abandoned the cowardly stuff and is accepted as official freedom fighter in the eyes of Sally and everybody and Sonic. He's established now. And remember, that carries on in Sonic 2, the game. That carries onward to the game. We see him in that game. And he's smarter. Heck, he has a fucking biplane for all we know. The Tornado. That is the engine. And that in this episode perfectly ties with that. The character development ties with that perfectly. This is the same Tails who has built that tornado. Same Tails who figured out the code and the path and everything to shut down everything. And the Tails who we see later on in the series and in the games. The smart and calculated one. Sally may not be now look, now I know what everybody's gonna say. We are fully aware that Sally Acorn has yet to make a resurgence. However, if you take into account what Sally taught Tails, she lives on through that, through the genius of Tails, and you see it in full bloom. So, with that said, Sally's there, not physically, but the impact in spirit she is. Based on that impact she made on Tails to become smarter and be like, hey, I want to learn. You learn from the best of the best. And Sally is the best of the best in terms of smarts and tech and everything. Now, people are like, well, what about Rotor and everything? Well, you could make the case, but the big impact is Sally. The big impact she made on Tails is more than I can put into words right now. That's how deep it is. I hope one day we will see a resurgence of Sally Acorn because we gotta give her flowers. We have got to give her flowers. And I know the Amy fans are gonna jump on my case, time and time again, like they always do. But hear us out, ladies and gentlemen. Sally Acorn deserves her flowers as much as Amy does. That's my fair point. But Joker, what do you predict with the next episode?
The next episode will definitely be interesting because you need to introduce like how everybody wants to meet, especially again, we know the Doomsday Project is being built, so this will all be centered around all that, along with how do you do a spy episode? We've seen espionage episodes, but not really a full blown spy. Chuck is one thing, and definitely since he's saying that, like, especially how more dangerous it's been lately, since we're not even seeing him in the hideout anymore. It's been coming out, so that's been more of a big risk. So we'll see what happens to good old Uncle Chuck if he's going to finally get caught, which this will be great if he does get caught, builds drama and everything. And if he does get caught, Eggman will finally realize you're not fully roboticized anymore. And I think that's how he's going to get the key. He's going to realize they tricked him, and now he's got the ultimate leverage against the freedom fighters. If you don't give me this, I will kill Chuck or re-roboticize him.
I could see that becoming the thing. That's actually a great plot point right there, and and logically it does make sense because like I mentioned, this is a stalemate, ladies and gentlemen. We're at a stalemate in this episode. So the next one is really gonna turn the tide in either favor. That swivel's gonna go one direction or another. The question is, where is the point gonna land? We'll see next time on on the last two episodes. Stay tuned for that in March 6th. That's next Thursday. Stay tuned, everybody. And also share the links and everything. We love doing these. Also, next Thursday, I will be dropping the polls for the next watch party. I have it finalized. I just have to drop it. I will say Noir is in there plus a few other ones. So please get out and vote. Get out and vote like you mean it. I'm gonna be watching those numbers go up and down like crazy. And remember, the final vote will determine what we watch. Because we love you guys. We could have just picked anything else out of my collection. We could have picked anything else, but we want you, the audience, our friends, people we care about, to have a say in the matter. We love doing this. Admit the internet crashes and everything, which my fault. I am guilty as charged on that, but my roommate's aware of it, so that's a good thing. With that being said, tomorrow night is my birthday. I will be 33 tomorrow night. This is my final day being 32. It has been a wild age for me at 32 years old. Tomorrow's going to be awesome because I'm going live tomorrow night for the birthday celebration like I did last year. I want to make that a tradition. I want to try and make that a traditional thing for this channel. God willing. Stay tuned for that. This Sunday is Nights of the Anime Table, and Saturday I am really, really gonna try and do Tomb Raider 2 and try and finish. I want to be
Did you
done
read
with it.
Jack and Daxter yet?
I am. I advanced the story. I advanced it to where I got past the lava cave, and
Maya. You just got to beat Maya now. So
apparently I can beat the game without collecting everything. So I'm just gonna try and
Technically speaking, you can beat the game without collecting everything. You just won't see what's behind the door.
oh, I might have to do that. I might have to do that off camera. Well, not the door reveal, but like gathering the extra stuff off camera when I get the chance.
Because what's behind the door leads into the fan favorite Jack 2.
Hmm. I'm excited. But and also Sly Cooper is gonna be happening. I did a test run of it. It works. It works. Like it ran smoothly and everything. So I'm in honor of my good friend Joker, I am gonna be playing that.
Finally.
I am going to
Finally,
be
that's
playing
my childhood game. The games I played the
actually,
most.
I'm gonna ask you, ladies and gentlemen, after I beat Jack and Dexter, the first one, do you want me to do you want me to play the second one or play Sly Cooper? That's a tough question there, ladies and gentlemen. That's a tough one. Look at Joker. Look at his head. He's like, oh, that's a
Sly
hard.
Cooper.
Okay, Sly Cooper it is. It'll be that one. It'll be a lot of fun. I cannot wait to get back into that world. I miss it. But stay tuned, ladies and gentlemen, for next Thursday. Be here for the finale. We are really on that cusp. We're gonna have
I'm excited to see the cliffhanger ending because we did not get a season 3, and we will tell you what happened behind the scenes because I think it's just so
you
that's why.
believe me, ladies and gentlemen, we wish we could tell you, but we're gonna save it for that one. Be here next Thursday night, the 6th, for the last 2 parts of season 2, Sonic SatAM. I'm Anime Night. This is my buddy Joker. Thank you to everybody for coming in and everybody on Twitter. Please share everything. Get this channel out there. We want to do more. We're gonna have more discussions later on with the coming shows that we do here. The formula ain't gonna change, ladies and gentlemen. We're still gonna have discussions of the coming episodes with the series that we are on. Now, I'm gonna get out of here. Joker's gonna get out of here. We love you guys. Stick around and stay tuned. Bye, guys.
Bye.